All right. Welcome to another video. In this one, we are gonna talk about IB. We're gonna talk about Illusion Battle, the regular version, but it also applies to Prime League because we're gonna talk about relocation and movement today. Relocation is, your general player movement is incredibly important in all kinds of IB environments. In Prime, perhaps even more so, since we are all on a level playing field. You can't rely on that one big whale and just sort of have him win everything. No, you need everyone, and you need everyone to play well, and that means relocation and moving correctly, positioning yourself and your team for maximum effort and efficiency. So that is what we are gonna have a look at today. We're gonna talk about some strategies. We're gonna talk about some, universal basics. This is what you need to do. This is what you can do, and this is some mechanics that you need to know about. So just a general video and a very good sort of 101 for anyone. Maybe you're new to Illusion Battle, maybe you're trying to take Prime League more seriously, maybe you've got some new players and you need to make sure that they know how to move. Have them watch this video. Now, before we get too far in talking about relocation, moving around the battlefield, we're going to talk about Infinity Kingdom and Huawei. Because Huawei have awesome campaigns. If you, like me, spend a bit, maybe you spend a lot, maybe you spend a little bit, regardless of how much, flat 20% more value is awesome. And you can get that with the Huawei discount campaigns. You got the pay and save campaign right now. This campaign offers you, it's sort of the similar thing as to the last one, but that's not a bad thing because the last one was very damn good. You get up to 20% discounts on your purchases, and you do that by spending via the AppGallery app. So install Infinity Kingdom with the AppGallery app, and you get access to these awesome campaigns. In this one, we are collecting flowers. You pay a euro, a dollar, whatever you're spending, whatever your currency is. You get a flower, and these flowers can be redeemed for coupons. Redeem the $100 coupon, and you get up to 20% back. It really does save quite a lot in the long run. So you gotta spend wisely, but you also gotta enjoy sort of some side games, maybe some quizzes, maybe you like to engage with the community. You can also do that on the AppGallery's Discord. Hop on in there, join the giveaway channel. There are free stuff being given away in there. I mean, free stuff is the best value you can get, so go ahead and jump on in there. Join up. There's also mods in there that can help you set up your app gallery if you have problems accessing a campaign or installing Infinity Kingdom via the app gallery app, etc. Hop on in there and they can assist you. The first thing that I want to talk about with movement is your initial movement strategy, because right out of the gates, as the battle begins, you are spawned in a random position within your team's spawn area, your home area. Some alliances like to run sort of predefined teams. These 10 players go to this tower, these players go to that tower, etc. Some players like to split up regardless of what you are doing. You should always make note of where you spawn. As you can see in this image, we got Cat Lover spawning right on the edge, the bottom edge, and that means he is primed to go to Tower 4. What he can do is that he has a significantly shorter relocation journey than someone spawning, for instance, in the opposite corner. So he has a unique opportunity to leverage that position and move to actually block strategic areas. You can either have Cat Lover, he should either block sort of an offensive spot around the tower, disabling that from enemy relocation, or he can even try and send his reload to like instantly right on top of some enemy relocation movement, because the chances that your enemy going to this particular spot spawned precisely on the edge is very, very low. That gives you maybe a second, maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe 4 seconds advantage on your relocation, and that is just brilliant because it means you can block someone right as the game begins. That can be incredibly powerful and something that you definitely want to consider based on where you are spawning. What some people like to do is actually split up based on where you spawn. Like you can split your home zone in 2, like as shown here in the left image. That means that everyone, on the north side goes to the northern tower. Everyone on sort of the other side, the right side, they go to the tower on the bottom right. What that means is that everybody will have well, no one will have an extremely long relocation. Of course, if you are spawning all the way down in the bottom of your zone, the bottom corner, you're not going to be able to block anyone realistically. It's too big of a risk. But it does up the chance that you got some people who can move into offensive positions. Like you can see in the right image, we have 3, maybe 4 players spawning very close or on the edge, and they can all move into offensive positions and take strategic positioning around the tower. So this is something that you can opt to do, or you can make predefined teams and just see, do I spawn lucky? Then I can do something with it. If not, I just move to another position. The second thing that I want to talk about is strategic positioning itself. You want to surround a tower, you want to get real close. This is a game where the objectives are the most important thing. If you can capture a tower, it is very difficult for your enemy to recapture it. And as such, positioning yourself strategically around these objectives is very, very important. So, as you can see here, I found an AOW game. They are incredibly good at IB Prime, and of course, their positioning is damn near perfect. As you can see, they are moving close to the tower and in a very tight formation. They could have chosen to offset their positioning by 1 count more if they had sort of another tower, another player on the left side. They could offset it by 1, etc. And their bottom row, their second row on the bottom, could have offset it by 1. That gives you just a slight edge, but it's not very important. The main thing is that they are moving in to surround the tower. As you can see, their enemy, and something, they are quite the opposite. They got some seriously bad positioning going on here. They got 1 guy near the tower. They leave a lot of space around the tower unclaimed. This means they're going to have quite a long and hard journey to ever try and capture that tower, and it ends up being quite impossible for them, and they should probably actually have cancelled every relocation here, because they stand no chance of ever winning this tower just because their positioning is horrible. You also got some people overlapping each other. Terrible. Make position, talk to each other, say I'm going here, etc. Because overlapping is just a player down right out of the gates. Terrible. So an example of very good initial positioning around a tower and a strategic position, and an example of a very bad positioning. Strategic positioning doesn't end after the first relocation, however. You also want to think about how you continuously move around as the battle progress. For instance, in this image on the right, you can clearly see how you got positioning. Both teams have sort of positioned themselves around the tower. Central tower has been captured, and as AOV, I think it's AOV, yeah, it's AOV again here. They are beginning to succeed with their rallies. They are porting out enemy players, and they are moving in front. They are capturing more and more territory around the central tower, and that is making it impossible for anyone to go there. What you should also note here is that right out of the gate, you have some people who will be in the front lines. These are likely going to be the ones taking incoming rallies. So you want to have your second row and your third row garrison the front runners. You also want to have the second, third row be the ones to join up in your own rallies or perhaps throw your rallies. And because the front runners, the front row, are always most likely the ones being rallied, and sometimes they will lose rallies, they will lose proportionally more troops, they will be fighting slightly more, and as such, you want to sort of rotate where the front line is. So once an enemy is being ported, like you can see here, there are suddenly space on the enemy's positioning, on AVG's positioning around the central tower. And it's not the front line, it's not the AoE front line that moves in. No, it is the second or third line that moves fresh castles into a new front line. Very good. Just to reiterate that point, as you can see here, the formation that AOW is running is damn near close to perfect. They are setting up so that, okay, let's take this one by one, right? You can see the back line with the green arrows. They are garrisoning and protecting their frontline fighters. Their front line is taking incoming attacks and rallies from the enemy, and they're being protected by their back line. These backliners, these are marked in green, right? These backliners in second and third row are also the ones throwing rallies with each other, because if you're not taking a rally, you can likely spare a troop. You don't need to set up a garrison on yourself, and you can be the one throwing a rally while your front line is protected and protects itself and engages the tower. So the second line here, then blue, is the primary guy throwing rallies. There are, of course, rallies being thrown by a couple players. It's a coordinated alliance. AOW plays extremely well. They are the best at this. But as you can see, they are coordinating not the frontliners to throw most of the rallies, but some of the other guys. The frontliners, on the other hand, have strategic positioning around the towers, so they are being defended by their second and third rows, and they are capturing the tower, the main objective. That is shown in purple. And now, once they eye an opportunity, like once the front line says, we got the tower, maybe you got 3 or 4 marchers in there and the enemy can't just bounce you instantly. Or more importantly, you've gotten a support player. So a support player means someone running the support talents, the tactics for IB and IB Prime. You get quick cap, which is just quick occupy, which is just incredibly powerful because it boosts the timer on your capture of a tower a lot. And when you can get a support march in there, you should always sort of yell it out, because that is a prime opportunity to capture a tower. Once that happens, everyone throws what they got into the tower, and the secondary marchers defend each other against enemy incoming rallies. But take a few hits, doesn't matter, capture the objective. They do that in AOW extremely well. Again, I'm praising them to the skies, but they are playing very well. As you can see, the second they eye an opportunity to capture a tower, it is coordinated, it is being yelled out, probably on a voice channel somewhere, and everyone joins and circles the tower, swarms it, making sure that the support guy stays protected. You only need one player running support, maybe 2, but 1 will do, as long as he is far down the defense line in the tower. He will stay in there and you will capture it extremely quickly. Very, very good. Moving on to something completely different, you got blocking and denying enemy movement. Blocking the enemy movement is also a very important element and a mechanic that you need to know about. You can do that in 2 different ways. When the enemy is relocating, towards your position, you will have a shorter relocation path than your enemy. that gives you an advantage because you can move to their desired location spot. You got a shorter arrival timer, a shorter relocation movement timer, and you block their movement. That blows up their movement, or well, that denies their movement, and they have to begin a new relocation. Because they can instantly begin a new relocation. The relocation timer is not reset by blocking. That means that they can do it instantly, so you want to wait a bit. When you see, for instance here, 3 guys moving to a close-knit position with long travel journeys, give it a bit of time. Just make sure that your blocking relocation happens before their first castle get there. The closer you can get to the enemy relocation timer, the better, because you are just denying, you are wasting enemy time. There are enemy castles sitting idle for longer. Very good. Another thing, you can blow up enemy castles, because blocking is not the only thing we can do. We can also deny a building relocation. This is an extremely powerful tactic in IB, because for instance, we got on the left here, we have 2 yellow movements, 1 red movement. The red guy is blocking the first yellow, but that's fine. You could also have moved 1 to the left. That would probably have been better. But this is a great example of, or that would have been better, but this is a great example of the difference between blocking and denying. Because he is blocking 1 relocation, and as he lets his castle finish relocating in there, he waits for the second yellow relocation to come in, and as you can see on the right side, he's blocked the first one, and the second one he can attack as the castle is building with 3 marches. 3 attacks in IB Prime takes care of a building relocation. That blows up the enemy relocation, and that does not reset the relocation timer. So what happens once your castle begins to build is that the cooldown on relocating begin. So in this case, the yellow player being blown up by Lana here, the red player Lana has his or her relocation timer on cooldown. So has to sit for 3 minutes or something like that, doing absolutely nothing before he or she can even begin to relocate again. That is significant downtime and an extremely powerful way of controlling the battlefield and denying enemy movement. Fifth, we have offensive and incremental movement. Because you do also want to go on the offense. You can't always just block enemy movements, and maybe you lost a tower and you need to capture another one, changing objectives, etc. Well, if you move right next to the enemy, they will blow you up or deny your movement. So what you got to do is do it incrementally. You want to move somewhere a bit further back. Either move straight next to your friends and have them garrison your building castle, because then it doesn't get blown up, right? Or move slightly further back. Incremental movement, so move there and you can join rallies, etc. You can garrison your friends from that distance, and you can move closer on your next relocation. But by moving back there, you are forcing the enemy to make a decision. Either they move out to block you, they can spend their relocation to block you, then you can just make a new one and get closer, or they can actually move out there and deny your movement, blow up your castle. But that means that you got an enemy in a terrible positioning once they've blown you up. That's good. You can also move even further back, really making it pointless for your enemy to stay there. But the point just is, don't move right on top of the enemy, because you will be blocked or denied. Denied being the worst option in most cases. But by positioning your offensive relocation, if the enemy wants to deny your movement, they will put themselves in a bad positioning, and that is something you should also think about. That is all that I have for this basic video on what everyone playing Infinity Kingdom IB and IB Prime League must know about. These are the essentials. These are the bare minimums as to mechanics and positioning. You want to add on top of this some strategies with your team. Make some predefined strategies on where we are moving, who is positioning themselves where, what kind of tactics are you running, what kind of formation are you going to be setting up, who throws rallies, who is defending, who's got support, etc. You want to make all of that with your alliance. That is the more advanced kind of thing, and the more contextually dependent thing on your alliance and group of players. These are the basics and something that everyone should know about. You cannot play Infinity Kingdom Prime League well without knowing these things. So that's all. Thank you for watching. I am Myrak. I'm from server 105. You can find me there. You can find me on Discord. You can find me on the IKWE website. You can find me on YouTube. Go ahead and reach out if you got comments, strategies, other stuff, requests for videos, etc. I am kind of backlogged right now, but there will be time at some time down the road. Thank you for watching, and see you on the next one. As always, please do subscribe to the channel. I consistently release new content here on the IK channel and on the official IK Wiki website. Links are in the description. On these channels you can find guides from everything in IK, from events to talents, passives, finished builds and game mechanics. With that, I'm gonna leave you, and as always, thank you for watching, and see you for the next one.